Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll be doing a Dollar Tree DIY, and it's a collaboration with the Crafty Quinn. So when you're done watching my video, please hop on over to her channel and watch her video. So my video is going to be a Dollar Tree wreath on a Dollar Tree wreath stand. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of these 3D wreath forms, and we're going to take the smallest one, and we're going to get some of these wired garland ties and form a quick little wreath. And I started using 2, but I ended up using 2.5. So just make it to the size that you need for the wreath form that you have on hand. And if you don't have a wreath form, you can always get a wired coat hanger and form it into a circle. That would work too. So just an idea. But I love using these garland ties, these wired garland ties, because they are so versatile. I use them a lot on my channel for my DIYs, and they're kind of really cute, I think. So here I have my little basic wreath form all ready to go, and we'll definitely be adding to it. So I'm going to take some Boxwood Picks that I had on hand, and these are actually from Walmart, but Dollar Tree does carry them. But they usually carry them in the spring, sometimes the summer. But I'm just picking out, I think I picked about 6 of these little sprigs, and I'm hot gluing them end to end because I'm going to form another wreath, this one being made out of boxwood. And again, they joint perfectly end to end, just a little hot glue and then stick them in. And I happen to use 6 little pieces for this particular wreath form, but again, you use whatever you need for the size of wreath that you are working with. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about this challenge. So this particular challenge, the Crafty Quinn and I decided to pick an item from the Dollar Tree and use it in a DIY. And so our item is a random item that is really not used for DIYs. And so we actually posted on Instagram last night our finished product and asked for those that can view it to figure out what it is that we are using as our mystery item. Well, I don't think I've seen any comments, so I don't know. I think we stumped everybody. What do you think, Crafty Quinn? You think we stumped everybody? Anyway, I think you guys will be amazed at the end. Anyway, so here I'm just putting few little dabs of glue here and there to join the 2 wreaths together. So I'll have like a dual kind of texture on them. So here I'm using my little tweezers to remove any hot glue webs. This is a really good little hack. So if you have little tweezers, and Dollar Tree does sell tweezers. So here I'm taking some of these red berries, and I'm going to just add a few. And I'm taking some of this regular garland that the Dollar Tree sells as well, and I'm going to add it to my wreath, to the back of it, just to give it a little bit more thickness. So I'm just kind of measuring real quick and getting my little wire cutters and snip, 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 and form a little wreath. So you can make any kind of wreath, really. I think the main thing of this DIY is going to be the wreath holder, but I had to make a wreath because what's the wreath holder going to hold? So yeah, just make any kind of wreath that you like. That's your preference. This is just a quick idea on just a basic wreath. So here I'm going to just add some more glue dabs, hot glue, and I'm just pressing my little tiny wreath on this bigger wreath form, and pressing it down using my little silicone spatula. I don't want to burn my fingers. So now I've got it all ready, and so now I'm going to adhere my wreath to this wire wreath form, and just add a couple dabs of glue. It doesn't need much. This is not very heavy at all. So I start using my little clips. And so if you don't know about these clips, there's these clips here. They're these clips that you can buy at the Dollar Tree in the laundry section, and I think they're for holding wet clothes, but I use them to hold my glued stuff, so it helps. It works really well. So here I flip it upside down, and I'm taking a piece of burlap ribbon, again from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to quickly adhere that to my wreath. And so again, I'm going to use my little spatula and my clips because I need all the help I can get. I don't want to burn my fingers. This glue can get hot. So here's my little clip, and again, it works great. And some on the other side, and get my other clip, hold it down. So it dries pretty quick, so I don't need the clips on there very long. So now I want to add the word joy in the center, and I just quickly hot glue that. And now when you hot glue metal, the metal's going to get hot, so please be careful. Be very careful, or you'll learn the hard way like I did. Okay, so here I'm using my little tool again, and now I'm going to make a quick little bow to go on top of my wreath. And it's the same bow as the center ribbon, the burlap. But again, you can use whatever ribbon is your preference, whatever you like. See, these little clips are so handy. I think that should have been my item, these clips. But no, you guys will be amazed. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly make a little bow and gather it at the center, add a little piece of ribbon and hot glue that down. And this gets a little bit dangerous because this kind of ribbon is very thin and it's got a lot of holes, and it's super easy for the hot glue to seep through. So just be very careful with burlap ribbon, especially from the Dollar Tree because it's so thin. But there's my little bow. Nice and cute. Just got to pull off some stray little strands here and there. But looking cute. And so I glue that on. And at first I decided not to do any tails. But then at the finish, on my finished item, my finished product, I do add the tails to it. So you'll see that later on. But for now, I was going to leave it like this. So I was kind of happy with the way it looks here. But yeah, I do end up changing it out. So anyway, here is a little block, a little wood block that the Dollar Tree sells, and I really like it because it's so decorative. I like the shape of it, I like the thickness of it, and it makes a really good base. So here I'm taking some spackle, and I'm going to fill in the hole. And when you fill in holes, you got to make sure you put your finger on the other side of the hole, because if you don't, the spackle that you push through the top will just come out the bottom. So you got to hold it down and press the spackle in there. And so then just wipe off any excess and wait for it to dry, and then it's paintable. So here I'm taking some black chalk paint, and I'm going to go in and paint the whole thing with this black chalk paint. And it doesn't take long. What I really like about chalk paint is that it dries quickly. It covers very well, and it dries quickly. So those are my two pluses on chalk paint. And I think that's why a lot of DIYers and crafters use chalk paint, because of that, because of the coverage and because how quickly it dries. Okay, so here's my mystery item. Look at that. It's a black candle snuffer from the Dollar Tree. So when I saw these at the Dollar Tree, I thought, okay, this is making me think of something that I saw in the store. And so I went to Hobby Lobby one day, and I saw this beautiful wreath holder. And when I saw this snuffer, I don't know why, but it just came to my mind. Look at that. This could become something. Okay, so here I glue the snuffer still, so it won't be going back and forth. And actually, I don't show it here, but I do add E6000 because the hot glue just wasn't, it was holding it, but it was still a little bit wobbly, and I don't want it wobbly. So I did go in with some E6000 as well. So if you're going to do this, if you want to try this, definitely use E6000 and hot glue. Use that combo. It works really well. So here I wait for it to dry completely, and I do add some hot glue in the inside because there's a little nut in there, and so I want nothing moving I want this wreath stand to be freestanding. So now I decided to remove the handle of this snuffer, and so I take my wire cutters, and let me tell you, it wasn't easy, but it took a lot of tries, but I got it off and got my stand ready to go. So now it's just as easy as gluing the snuffer onto the base. Now here I'm showing that the handle of the snuffer still on there, and that's because I had two, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to use the handle or not, but I ended up using the one without the handle. So that's why it's like that. Okay, so here I decided to utilize the little hole that's on this particular wreath form, and that's why I like this particular one, because it has a hole. It has one on the top and one on the bottom. But I want to stick the little stick portion of the snuffer, candle snuffer, through the hole to help secure it better. So here I'm going to go in with a black twist tie and twist it really nice and tight. Make sure it's really, really well secure. And I'll add some glue. I don't want this to fall. I want this to be freestanding. So I want it really, really secure and really, really tight. So I'm going to go in on the bottom as well with another piece of black twist tie. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to twist it on there real tight, as tight as I can, and add a little bit of glue. And don't worry about seeing the zip tie. We will add some embellishments at the end, which you can add whatever you like for embellishments. But I just added some more greenery and some more berries, and you'll see that at the end. So now that I have everything nice and tight, I'm trying to figure out what position I'd want it to be. I wanted it to be, first I wanted it to be like a tall stand, but it was kind of a little bit off balanced because of the size of the wreath. So at first, like I said, I wanted to stand a little bit tall, but then I decided it's probably better just to make it short. So here you see where I kind of make it tall, but then later I go back, and I didn't film it, but I do end up putting it short again the way I had it the first time. But it worked. And here it is. Look how cute. It totally worked, guys. A Dollar Tree candle snuffer on a piece of wood base to hold a wreath. Yes, any wreath you like. And I'll show you what my inspiration piece was. And then, of course, here it is. And look, it's freestanding. I'm trying to get the camera to go around the back so you can see that it's not being propped up at all. It is totally freestanding. And I think it came out super cute. Quick little hack. Just a Dollar Tree wood base and a Dollar Tree candle snuffer to hold a wreath. Of course, tabletop wreath, not a door wreath. But here, look, see that? Not being propped up? Not at all. And look, I did add the tails to the bow, and it does make it look much better. I may go back and trim the wreath itself a little bit, but anyway, I'll show you my inspiration piece. Here's my inspiration piece. Looks very similar, and here's my piece. Well, thank you for hanging out with me and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please go visit the Crafty Quinn's channel and watch her video as well. And let me tell you, she did something amazing too. Amazing. And again, thanks again, and have a great day. Stay healthy and strong and safe. Bye-bye.